Hi there, Pathfinder owners. Today in your 2017 Nissan Pathfinder, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install Tekonsha's 4-pole flat trailer connector vehicle wiring harness. And this is what our wiring looks like when it's installed. Our harness is going to provide us with a 4-pole flat trailer connector here at the back of our vehicle. That's going to provide us with all the necessary lighting signals, which includes our left turn signal, right turn signal, tail lamps, and brake lamps, keeping us DOT compliant in all states. My favorite part about this harness is how it is custom fit for our Pathfinder and plugs directly into factory connectors throughout the vehicle. It's a super quick and easy installation due to this. So why don't you follow along with me and we'll get the installation done together. We'll begin our installation here at the back of the vehicle by accessing the factory wiring that we'll need to tap into for our harness. Go ahead and lift up on your rear cover for the rear compartment. And there are 3 bolts on the inside in the back corners and 1 towards the rear in the center that we're going to remove using a 10mm socket. Then here in the back we got a couple of things we need to pop off. The little section here in the middle, we're going to just pop up that piece and we'll set it aside. And then if we go over on the left here, we'll need to pop up the covers here so we can access the bolts below it. So just using our screwdriver to pop those up. Sometimes you'll need to put the top piece back down after you pop it up in order to get it to come all the way up like that. We're going to do the same thing with the one over here. We can then take our 10mm again and we're going to remove these hooks. Just remove the bolt in the center and then you can pull the whole hook out. We'll do the same thing with the other one. And that will allow us to get our panels here all pulled up. We're going to start removing our panels now. For our back threshold here, we just need to get our fingers underneath of it and then just pull straight up. We're just going to work our way across. And then we'll set that aside. We can now remove this panel here beneath it. For this one, I recommend using a screwdriver or a trim panel tool to ensure that you get these clips popped up. So we're just going to run along those and just pop them up. Just like that. And then this panel just lifts up and we can actually just kind of flip it backwards so it's out of our way. This panel here sits underneath of it. It has a couple of clips. Ours just kind of fell right out of there, but if it is fighting you can use your screwdriver just like we did along the back here to make those clips pop out. We can then set this piece aside. Both of the connectors that we need are located right here at the bottom of this panel. We've got this metal bracket that's right here. If we follow towards the back of that and then just reach under here, they're right along the inside edge, just right here. You can see barely just the very ends of them, but you can definitely feel them when you put your hands in there. You'll have 2 connectors. One is a long white one that we're going to plug our new harness into using this connector. That one's further towards the outside of the vehicle. And then just to the inside of that one, more towards the center, you'll have a black one, and that's what this one's going to plug into. So we're just going to go through the big opening here, reach around, and then clip them into place. Now we've got the other end of our harness, now that we've got it all plugged in, and we have 3 connectors here at the back, and these are just going to all have relays that plug into them. The brown one is going to get the brown relay that comes in your kit, so just line up the terminals and plug those 2 together. They are going to be a little stiff. It's pretty normal. Just gotta there we go. And then the 2 white connectors here are going to get the smaller blue relays that come in your kit. Now, to ensure our relays don't make a bunch of noise and rattle around, and also so they stay plugged in, we have some foam that comes in our kit. So we'll just peel off the foam from the adhesive backing, and then each one of our relays is going to get this foam wrapped around it. So we're just going to lay it on there like that and just stretch it around the foam. That's just going to help it prevent it from rattling around. We'll now do the same thing with the remaining two here. Now we're all done back here. You can reassemble it now, or you can wait until after you've tested it out. I always like to wait till after I test it out to reassemble in case there is anything I need to make a repair on. We're now under the hood. We've got a couple more relays you may or may not need to install, because oftentimes the factory has already installed these relays. So we're going to check. You have your little relay covers and fuse covers here. We want the long one here towards the outside here on the driver's side, just behind our headlight. And if we reach down and pull the little tab there, we can pop up the cover. And you can see here that these relays have already been installed from the factory, so we don't need to install these. But if these relays were missing from this location, they are provided in your kit so you can put them in. So we're all done there since they're already there. We got a couple of spare relays now. We're now underneath the vehicle on our passenger side. Way over here in the corner behind the bumper, you'll have two connectors. You'll see a 6-pin gray connector as well as a larger 2-pin black connector. We only care about the gray connector here. We're going to take this gray connector, we're going to pop it off. You can either use your screwdriver here to pop it off, or on the back side there, you'll notice that there's little prongs. You could take a pair of needle nose pliers as well and squeeze in on those prongs to release it. Sometimes that's the easier way to do it, is to just squeeze back here. And then you can just kind of give it a little push when you're squeezing it, and it'll pop out of there. We can then pull it down to get a little bit easier access to it. It has a very small release tab right there, so you're likely going to need a small screwdriver to press in on the release tab so we can remove the dummy plug. Now that we've got that out of there, we can take our new harness here and plug it in, and then we can reinsert this back into its mounting location. We'll now need to install the ground wire here. So we're going to take the included self-tapping screw, slide it through the ring terminal on our white wire here, and we're just going to run it right into the panel here. We'll use a 1/4 inch socket in order to do so. We can then route our wiring over towards our hitch, wherever we want to route it to. We're just going to route ours over to the driver's side here. They do have a mount. So there are brackets available here at etrailer.com if you did want to add that to the mount. We're going to install our dust boot on it. Got a little hole there. You make sure that one's going to line up with the single hole there to clip on. So we're just going to slide that around the end. And if you don't have a bracket, you can just use this to secure it to your hitch by wrapping it around the safety chain loop and then plugging it in. We can then take the included zip ties that come in our kit, zip tie up our harness to keep it from dragging down the road. With our installation complete, I recommend that you test everything out and make sure it's working properly. I highly recommend using a tester over your trailer in the event that there's something wrong with your trailer and it causes an issue. You won't know where the problem was. Testers like this can be purchased here at etrailer.com, and they will easily verify that our lighting is working. You can see here that we have our left turn signal, right turn signal, tail lamps, and brake lamps. With everything working properly, we can just double check our wiring, zip tie up anything that we need to, button everything up, and that completes our installation of Tekonsha's 4-pole flat trailer connector vehicle wiring harness on our 2017 Nissan Pathfinder.